Asher's Berry Mix. This is brand new to me, so I will tell you my reaction. There are 3 colors: purple, blue, and pink, and I am trying pink. I believe that is going to be strawberry. ado.